All right, baby. This is the last one that we're going through. And now, as far as the most common notarial acts, I want to tie it all together for you to make you understand the box of rocks. I need to get a box of rocks done. So I want to show you the box of rocks method. So just bringing it all home. If you have not watched the previous videos on what is an acknowledgement, then what is the oath or affirmation, then those videos are up above. Take a look at those. Get them in your mind. You need to know this off the top of your dome. When somebody asks you, you need to know this off the top of your head. I can't say that enough. If you're in this business, know the basics. Know the language. It's important. All right, let's get it. Let's go. We're going to run through this because a lot of this same information was under the oaths and affirmations video. So I'm going to run through this pretty quickly. If you need to go on a slower basis, go back and take a look at that video. On this video, we are going to discuss, let me move myself, the jurat. And I want to tell you what a jurat is, what's the difference between a jurat and acknowledgement, and when you need to use that, and actually how you use the two and what's the difference. All right, so here's the difference. An acknowledgement. The signer does not have to sign the document in front of the notary. They can sign the document wherever they are, bring it to you, and acknowledge or declare that the signature is theirs. The signer acknowledges their signature. That's all that they're doing. The signer does not, an acknowledgement does not require an oath or an affirmation. Certificate wording will not include the word sworn, affirmed, or similar language on an acknowledgement. On a jurat, the signer signs in front of the notary. So they can't bring you a document that has already been signed. They have to sign it in front of the notary. The signer swears that the information written within the document is true. In a jurat, they do require an oath or an affirmation, and the certificate wording will include sworn, affirmed, or other similar language. Okay, so those are two notarial acts, an acknowledgement and a jurat. Now, the oath and affirmation are acts that are performed in the jurat. An oath, you're swearing to a supreme being. An acknowledgement, you are not swearing to a supreme being. You are pledging on your own honor, or your client is pledging on their own honor. So an oath, do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? When you see that so help you God, if God is mentioned or a supreme being is mentioned, then that is what is called an oath. If a supreme being is not mentioned, it's an affirmation when they are swearing on their own honor. Okay, are we clear? So you have the acknowledgement, does not require an oath or an affirmation. The signer does not have to sign it in front of you. Jurat, they have to sign it in front of you, and it does require an oath or an affirmation. The purpose of a jurat is for the signer to swear or affirm that the contents of a document are true. Depending on the jurisdiction, it can also be known as an affidavit or verification on oath or affirmation. For a jurat, the signer must personally appear before you and sign the document in your presence. With an acknowledgement, this is some of the basics, y'all. They don't have to sign it in front of you. With the jurat, they have to come in front of you and sign the document in your presence. Remember that. Very, very important. Also, let's go back. So, a jurat can also be called an affidavit. That's another name for a jurat, or a verification on oath or affirmation. You must then administer an oath or affirmation and have the signer speak aloud his or her promise that the statements in the document are true. The choice between an oath or an affirmation should be made by the signer. Administering the oath or affirmation is a vital part of performing a jurat or verification because the signer is affirming that the contents of the document are true, and he or she may be prosecuted for perjury if the contents are not true. California requires a signer to provide proof of identity for a jurat. So this is important, people. Okay, when is a jurat required? Jurats are generally performed for affidavits, various legal documents, and depositions. How to complete a jurat? Same as the acknowledgement. You require a personal appearance, you review the document, you screen the signer and verify the facts, meaning that you look at their identification, you make sure that the person in front of you is the same as the person who is whose ID you have. You record the notarization, and then you go on to complete the jurat. Okay, so you have to require a personal appearance. These are your responsibilities. You require a personal appearance. You administer the oath or affirmation, and they can do it spoken or it can be written. And we've gone through this before. The spoken oath or affirmation, here's an example. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Or I, Tanya Johnson, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all duties of the office of Notary Public to the best of my ability. So help me God. All right. If it's an oral ceremony, then they are standing, raising their hand, and they will provide a verbal response. And if it's written, then it will have the language, do so solemnly swear, or depose. As you can see here, do so solemnly swear. And then you have this document where I'll bring it a little bigger, where it says, this person personally appeared before me this 26th day of November 2021. I'll say my name, Jane Doe, who deposes. That's the language to let you know it's a jurat. Then you have this document where it says date sworn in the certificate portion of the document to let you know that this is a jurat. You can see it larger here, date sworn or affirmed. And then did depose. This is a jurat.